Well, hello, back again with another video. It is end of summer. These are the last few days, few weeks of summer that we have left. And I thought I would bring you along for a fun little weekend. We are prepping for a beach trip. Now, we have not gone to the beach all summer. I don't think we made it last year either. We live pretty close to the beach, about an hour or so, actually, from several beaches here in California. And I thought it would be so fun to make sure this year we actually made it to the beach. So I am prepping some French bread, and I'm going to leave the recipe down below if you guys want to make it for yourself. We are going to make some sandwiches and just get ready for this beach trip and have little chats and catch ups as we go along. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Noelle. I do all kind of homemaking content, a little bit of motherhood, thrifting, baking and cooking, all the things in between, and a little bit of home decor, and just basically everything home. I am starting out with making this French loaf. It's very simple. I do a lot of baking around here. I love to cook and bake from scratch when I can. I am nowhere near perfect. We still eat out. We still buy the occasional frozen food. But I really do find it fun to make what I can from scratch. It saves you money as well, which I absolutely enjoy. So I have all the ingredients at home to make French bread. It's very simple, just a few ingredients. I shaped the dough. Well, first of all, I kneaded the dough in my mixer, shaped it, let it rise, do all of the bread things, and now we're going to score it and we are going to put it in the oven. Honestly, this is a very easy, simple recipe to do. I feel like this is a great one if you're just starting out to really want to get into bread making. I feel like this French bread recipe is a really easy one to follow. A little way to dip your toe in the water of bread making. I actually put a cast iron full of water to help with steam below the loaf and just give it a really good steamy, humid environment in the oven. While that bread was baking, my husband actually brought home some Noah bagels, which are some of my favorite bagels. If you have not had their bagels, they're so good, so chewy. We got a few different kinds. We got plain, everything but blueberry. I think my husband got a random chocolate chip one. And we also got some pumpernickel as well. And those are just delicious. Really good to have on hand for some easy breakfast along with some protein. Anyway, we're back to our loaf. We are now going to add some butter. You do not have to do this part. I just think that it makes the loaf look better and also taste better. Who doesn't love butter? This is grass-fed butter. So delicious. So I'm just going to brush a little bit of melted butter on there. Again, you do not have to do this. You could leave it just the way it is, but it's a little bit floury from the whole bread process. So I love to just brush a little bit of butter on there. Why not? I ended up making two of these actually because I was scared one wasn't going to be enough for everybody in my family, because we also had other people there that we were meeting at the beach that are not pictured in this video, but we were not alone, and I just wanted to make sure that we had enough, as well as we ended up having a little bit of leftover sandwiches for another day, which is always great in my book. I love to work smarter, not harder in the kitchen, so if I can make things and double the recipes for a different time, I love to do that. I am picking some fresh little tomatoes. These are beefsteak tomatoes from my little patio garden. I live in a very urban area and have dreams of homesteading one day, but for now this will do. I love having a little patio garden. It just gives me something to nurture. I mean, obviously I nurture all day. I'm a mom of 3 with one on the way, but I love to grow things. I have found a love the last few years to really tap into my gardening and just learn a little bit more about growing your own food, and I find so much joy in that, and it's just been so much fun. So I've been getting a ton of tomatoes, strawberries, jalapenos, basil, rosemary. What else are we growing? We are growing some hydrangeas. We're growing a few different things upstairs, green onions. So fun. And I just have it on my little patio, and it's so much fun to tend to on a daily basis. The kids have so much fun with it. We've made it a part of our homeschool. And it's just been such a good time. We have really been enjoying that this summer, and it's been a big part of our summer. I am just now going to assemble the sandwiches. This is actually the next day from when I made the loaves of bread because you really want to make sure they sit and cool down before you cut them open. So we are just doing some simple fixings for these sandwiches. We're doing some onions, some salami, some delicious turkey I got from Costco that has like all the herbs and all the good stuff. We have the homegrown tomatoes and some Colby Jack cheese, and we're just keeping it simple. I'm going to do some mayo from, I'm going to do some avocado mayo made from avocado oil, and it's delicious. I'm actually running out of mayo right here, which is not the most ideal thing, but you know what? We had enough, okay? We had enough for the sandwiches, and the kids didn't even want mayo on there. So I did a kid sandwich, and then I did like an adult sandwich with more of all the fixings because we know little kids can be a little bit more on the pickier side. So they requested no mayo. They didn't want the turkey either. So their sandwich was just so plain, and then half with tomatoes and half without. So, I'm just taking the requests that they want for their little sandwich. Kids can be a little bit more picky. And I also didn't add onions on theirs either. So basically, they're getting a whole bunch of bread for their sandwich, salami, cheese, and a little bit of lettuce, just the way they like it. So that is okay with me. It was easier for me to do. But for our sandwich, we did a little bit more. And the bread looks really thick. You don't have to make it this thick if you don't want to, but it's very pillowy and soft. So it will, kind of condense as you're eating it. So it's not as thick as it looks pictured here, but so delicious. Such a great starter loaf for if you're just getting into bread making. It's so much fun. It's so easy, and you feel very accomplished. And it does not take long at all, honestly. It took no time to make those loaves. And then you could just cut them open. You could do so much with this recipe. You could do so much more than just French bread. But yeah, this summer has been honestly so wonderful. It's been slow but busy, and honestly really just focused on family. We are currently doing the little back to school thing. I will share a little bit more about that in an upcoming video. And I am so looking forward to fall, like I know a lot of you are. My soul just truly thrives in those cold months. Now, I live in California, so we really don't get too much of a fall. At least the last few years, it feels like we haven't, with the environment and stuff changing. But yeah, I mean, I am really looking forward to these colder months, and it doesn't get really cold here, I would say, until the very early months of November. And I will have a new baby. God willing, we will have a new newborn baby at that time. And I am so excited for all the newborn cuddles and snuggles, even though I feel like we just did this because my daughter is only 1. And I'm just looking forward so much to this upcoming season of fall and winter. I can't even explain it to you guys. I feel so blessed, and I'm so grateful for all of you guys here watching my video. I know I haven't put out too many videos this summer, but that has truly been because I have been really just living my best life and focused on family and just enjoying my kids, and taking life truly slow. But as a mom of 3, as well as being pregnant, I am tired, and there are so many things that I have to keep up with that, it's been a little bit slow for video making. But I promise, hopefully in the next few months, well, we will see with the newborn. I'm not going to stop posting because I know some of you were scared that I was going to quit YouTube. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm still here. Don't worry. Don't worry. But life has been great, and I just wanted to give you guys a little updates in how things have been going. My pregnancy has been going really good, really smooth. Praise God in all his glory for all of that, because having a smooth Having a smooth, healthy, no complications pregnancy is such a blessing, truly. All of my pregnancies have been very smooth and no complications, really, that were actually true. Maybe something that they thought was wrong actually turned out not to be wrong with my last pregnancy. But um, I'm, I'm, I'm always so grateful to have these smooth pregnancies. And sometimes I forget that I'm pregnant, and I'm so grateful for that because I know there are a lot of women out there have really tough pregnancies or can't get pregnant at all. So I'm just really grateful. Just always so grateful for healthy pregnancies. And yeah, anyway, so I am about to make another sandwich for the kids because they, like I was saying earlier, they wanted their own request on their sandwiches. So that's what we're going to do. There will be a few kids at the beach, so not just mine. There will be other kids at the beach that we are meeting, their families. And so I'll probably just bring extra meat and fixings for those kids just in case they want more on their sandwiches. But yeah, I'm going to make these two and then I'm going to cut them up and put them in little baggies and put it in our cooler so it can stay nice and cold. But look at that sandwich in the back with all of the fixings. My husband was laughing and said when I was putting on the top when I was putting on the top bread that we need to crown the king, and it was just funny because he said it's like a king sandwich, but it was delicious and so much fun to make. It was very simple. The kids like watching me make it in the background. Simple food like this really helps cut down on the eating out budget. Now, we did end up still eating out later on in the beach trip because, it kind of just happened that way. The kids really didn't want sandwiches again, which, I don't really blame them. So we did end up getting a little bite to eat out. Now, I really wanted to get on top of some of my other little duties around the house, my little house chores, like laundry. Laundry has been so hard for me to keep up with lately. It's just been piling up and it feels like I'm doing it so many times a week. I know some people can do laundry once a day and keep it going for the whole week. Me, I'm not really that kind of person. I'm not a one load a day keeps the pile away, even though I probably should be. I just find that to be hard to keep up with and not the most sustainable for me. So I do laundry a few times a week, honestly. But it just feels like lately the laundry has been piling up and I have to do it a few times. And it used to be like once a week for us, and now it's like a few times a week. But anywho, I'm trying to get on top of that because it feels so hard when you take little trips to catch up and get back into the swing of things. So if I can do prep work ahead of time, like laundry or anything that's going to make my life easier, because we are going to the beach the next day after this, not on this day. So I spent the rest of the day really just prepping my house for when we come back. So doing laundry, vacuuming, just making my home feel tidy and clean before we come back from our little day trip, because going out with kids, you guys know, is exhausting. So much fun, definitely worth the effort, but also just hard. I'm taking these little Waterloos with us. They are carbonated water. They do not have the most flavor, honestly. They're good though. They're like refreshing. They're okay. We have them. I'm taking them with us, throwing them in the little ice chest. I got my little cooler bag from Costco this year. It's the Titan bag, or it's from the brand Titan. It's really, really nice. It's beautiful and lightweight. It has a lot of room, and we've been using it a bunch this summer, just throwing some ice in there and whatever our little hearts desire, and it keeps it cold for several, several hours. And it does not leak like my last one, so I love that. So we are headed off to the beach. Here are some random shots that my mom captured on her phone and when she was playing around with my camera. I'm so grateful for that and for her to capture some things, because I did capture some on my phone, but not a whole bunch on my camera. But yeah, she got some really good little captures here and memories to be made. I am so happy that she did that. And then I got a few clips as well. It was so much fun. This was the very first trip for the baby to the beach, and I wasn't sure how she was going to react. I always love seeing their reactions when you go to the beach for the first time. Will they like the sand? Will they like the water? I already knew she would probably like the water because she loves the pool, but she loved the beach. She didn't try to eat the sand or anything. It was so fun. We spent so much time just at the very shore at the very shore side where we were just putting our feet in the water, and the kids had so much fun playing. I always have a little bit of anxiety though going to the beach because the water, the ocean is so wild but beautiful, also very dangerous. So I always have a little bit of a mom anxiety when we go to places where it can end badly. So my kids listened really well and it was great. They had so much fun in the ocean and we had a blast. Then we decided we needed something sweet, okay? We decided we needed a little sweet treat. So we headed off to this really cute ice cream parlor called Tucker's, and it is a ice cream parlor that's been around since 1940, I believe, and we have made it a tradition to always come here when we also go to the beach. They're pretty close together. So we ended up going a little bit more downtown and going to this cute ice cream shop. It was packed. They sell so many delicious treats and things here. And we just had a really good time. I ended up getting vanilla bean and coffee ice cream, which is a funny, I feel like, different combination, but a scoop of each of those. And I didn't end up finishing it because it became a drippy drip mess, but it was delicious. We ate our ice cream. It was delicious. We finished our ice cream. It was so good. And honestly, the kids made less of a mess than I did because I had ice cream dripping everywhere out of this cone. And then the kids decided that they were hungry again. So we ended up stopping off at, you guessed it, McDonald's. We do not have McDonald's very often. So whenever we do, it is definitely a treat. You know, everyone needs a little bit of Mickey D's in their life, right? Yeah, no, not really. But unfortunately, we had like cold fries. Honestly, the food just wasn't that great. My husband didn't like what he ended up ordering. Usually McDonald's hits though. Like usually it's so good, especially when you don't eat it often. It's just usually hits that spot. But for some reason, it just wasn't that great at this very busy McDonald's right across the street from the ocean or from the beach. But yeah, and the paper straws, because I guess they're by the beach, they do paper straws, and those were terrible too, to be honest. I do not like the texture of of paper straws in my mouth. Let me know down below if you're also like not here for the paper straws, but I get it. They're trying to save the turtles or whatever. I respect it. But yeah, so after that, we headed home. We made the drive home. My house is full of sandiness when we unloaded everything. The car had sand in it. All that fun stuff that you expect after a long beach day. And we ended up picking up some Tucker's merch from the ice cream shop, just some hats and some t-shirts because I thought they were cute. And, I am such a huge fan of t-shirts. You guys might not know that, but I have like a whole little t-shirt collection. Because when I'm not on camera and I'm just chilling around my house, I am always wearing t-shirts and sweats and your more casual clothing. I love the dresses. I love to dress and get actually dressed, but for an everyday basis or just chilling around my house, I love to just wear t-shirts and sweats. It's just my jam and it's just more comfy than longer dresses or dresses in general, even though I enjoy them, but balance. And then I gave everyone a bath and we just kind of unwinded, and then everyone fell asleep and I started watching Titan, which is a documentary about the submersible that I think that happened like 2 years ago, about Ocean Gate. It was very interesting for sure. And such a tragedy that could have been prevented if this guy only listened. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, if you've seen this documentary, let me know what you think down below. But I thought it was pretty interesting. And it was very interesting when it was going on and we were kind of following it in real time. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how your summer has been down below. I love hearing your guys' stories and life updates in the comments. But thank you, as always, for all of your support. And I will see you with a new video. I'm already working on the next video, so hopefully it's not too long in between. But again, thank you for all your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you guys had a really good summer like we did. And yeah, until next time, bye.